He said, in 6 months, I want you to be an assistant manager, but I'm going to put you in the deli. I need you to learn how to work with the people there. Not 60 grand? No, I know. Well, first, there's a reason for not wanting to work in a deli. Any of you ever work in a deli? Do you enjoy it? Right, that was my thought too. That was the ugliest 3 days I worked for, and then the school called and hired me, so I left that job. But no pain, no gain. Does that make any happiness? Does that set a stage? Does that set kind of a formula for, or is happiness just a feel-good feeling, people? That's the important question to ask, because we're going to study people who are hedonists this week, and they think the only thing that matters is increasing pleasure or decreasing pain. And there's two kinds of pleasures for them. One is physical. Everybody knows the 10 minutes of physical. And then there's intellectual. Save someone's life, you feel good about it. Do something that takes a lot of hard work and you get the right reward for it, you feel good about it. But that's not the only kind of happiness there is. And if we don't explore it, we get kind of blindsided once in a while. We're really not sure. I was telling Cameron when I came in, I have a friend of mine, an Olympic weightlifter, Fred Lowe. Doesn't lift anymore. He's a dinosaur like I am. But in his best day, he was 7th in the world in his weight class, I mean. Came to work, we worked in a county jail, and came to work limping one day, and I said, oh, what'd you do to your knee? And he says, I strained a couple, you have 2 muscles here in your thigh, 2 major thighs. He says, and I strained one of them really bad. I said, guess there's no more working out for you for a while. And he says, oh, no. He says, you respect the injury, but you train the body how to heal. I mean, I was athletic my whole life. I was just, what's your first name? Grace. I was talking, I played tennis, had a scholarship to go to school, champions in the state system. Oftentimes, pain leads to success, and success might give us something we call happiness. It's enshrined in our doctrine that everybody has the right through self-interest to pursue whatever makes you happy. I guess the important question is only achieving the end what makes you happy, or is there something involved in the process that's worthwhile? Look, many of you will experience this. Maybe you already have. You try something out, you put your best into it, and you don't get the desired result. Is unhappiness your conclusion, or is there something more to happiness than just getting what you want? That being said, and by the way, that little lecturette was right here on value theory summary.
The jubilation of Sarah Tucholsky's first ever home run is captured in this home video shot at Western Oregon's game in Ellensburg, Washington. While you don't see Sarah injure her knee, it's not long until the camera rolls on the 2 Central Washington players carrying Tucholsky around the bases. Mallory Holtman and Liz Wallace display an act of sportsmanship unlike any other, enabling Sarah to touch them all and finish her first ever round tripper at home plate.
The 2 girls from Central just came over and said, we're going to pick you up and take you around the bases. So they did, and, you know, Mallory, the first baseman, asked me which leg was hurt. I told her the right, so she said, okay, we're going to tap your left foot on the bases as we go around. And I said, okay, thank you very much. And we just kind of did it. We were all in our own little world as it was happening, so.
The incident has drawn national attention this week, as all 3 women have been interviewed on a multitude of morning news and TV talk shows.
So I know I have some athletes in here. I don't know that I would have ever done that, to be real honest. There were state championships in '68. We were playing a team called New Paltz, and for whatever reason, they decided that the close ones, tennis, they were calling out. And we knew they were calling it out. We had beat them twice during the first year. Coach came by, Coach Kessler came by, and he says, "What's the score?" And we said they took the first set 6-4. And he says, "How can you be losing to them? You beat them twice already this year." And we said, "They're calling the close ones out." Coach said, "Next time they do that, I want you to hit them." See, my coach had gotten, do you know what hula hoops look like? Part of our practice every day was we used to have to go out and they'd have a machine that would throw you lobs and we'd be on one side of the machine, obviously on the other, and he would put these 3-foot wide hula hoops out there and he said, "When you get 40% of them in, I'm going to drop them to a 2-foot and a 1-foot. I want you to be proficient here." And we thought it was placement for the game, and we became very proficient. You can't do that for hour after hour after hour after hour after hour after hour. Did I say after hour after hour, and not become proficient at it? Well, that was a really hard thing for me to hear, so I called the other team over and I said, "Listen, we know you're calling the close ones in." I said, "Next time you call a close one in, out, we're going to hit you." And to their benefit, they called one out that was in, and I got the next lob, and I missed the guy's head by about this much. And he had every right to be upset. You ever get hit with a 120-mile-an-hour tennis ball? And he looked at me and he got really indignant, and I said, "Call the out ones out, and if we lose, we lose, but we're going to lose because we lose, not because you guys cheat." Did it again. And this time, little Jackie Ward got the overhead. Now, Jackie's 5'6", and Jackie doesn't have the conscience that I had. And he was better at overheads than I was, a little bit better. Next overhead came, primary target. Everybody understand primary targets, where your little fig leaf is? Kid hit the ground, screaming in pain, yada, 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 yada. Jackie went up and he says, "We warned you." I mean, winning means a lot. We were state champs that year. Winning means a lot. Why you put all that practice in? Why you put all that hard work in? And they carried this young lady around knowing that doing that, they were going to lose the game and they're going to be out of the tournament. I don't know if this was like a championship tournament state. I don't know. But whatever it was, they knew in doing that, and the rest of their team applauded their sportsmanship. So I know this pigeonholes you, but anybody want to answer this question? Athletes, would you consider doing that? I mean, I was already vulnerable. I didn't do that. I mean, if Jackie missed him, I'd have gone after them too. Go ahead.
I used to play hockey, and well, I would never do that. I was a kid, so I used to kill kids. That was my job. So I basically trying to get kids out of
The enforcer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get kids out of the game just to
Take him out of the game. Yeah, we had a 6'7" guy from Meadowbrook, and Larry Kwasanka was a 260-pound running back, and coach told him to take the kid out of the basketball game. Well, he broke his leg. He sat on it. I know. What does this have to do with happiness? Which team was happier? Depends on how you look at it, isn't it? Happiness is not a formula then. Happiness is it just an emotion, people? Is it an activity? Could it have anything to do with honor and code and duty and virtue and caring and benevolence and altruism? Altruism means doing the right thing regardless of whether you get a reward for it or not. Or is happiness just about getting what you want? And look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting what you want. That's why we're purpose-driven. We're doing things for a reason. We want an outcome. It's not a negative outcome, it's a positive outcome. But maybe happiness is more than that. Go ahead, Grace.
So if you don't have honor and
Yeah. What's the answer to Grace's question? I don't have an answer for it because happiness, I don't think it fits in a box, people. That's why I'm asking you that. What is it that makes you happy? You ever get something you wanted and found out you really didn't need it that much, or it didn't do what you thought it would do for you? Any of you old enough to guess? You know what I'm talking about? Look, this probably doesn't affect you now. Half of all marriages in this country end in divorce. Why do people bother to get married? Don't they have an outcome in mind? Then you don't get what you want. Why do you divorce someone if you have what you want? You're not happy. That's why most people, they're not happy. Whatever's going on, they're not happy.